Won something tonight, you are not lucky. That goes to you too, Stella. You want this? You want the flowers? Here it goes. 07 03 20 03 20. Who wants the flowers? Who wants the flowers?
Had that ticket, but she lost it.
Oh, mercy, I'm calling this one. Let me look. No, mine is 0151. Have we got it? Buddy Everett, 07 03 20. Better late than never, buddy. And I don't want you messing around with that Runnymede because you would surely have to arrest Bud Hudson. Okay. Another big hand for Aaron. This is the most prizes I've ever seen. Okay. We're right on schedule. And Ralph Tyler. This is the first time I've seen Ralph in, I know, 35 years. And I tell you, I was cranking up the sound system today, just seeing if it was working. It was headed right toward Miss Fallon's house, and I said, "Ralph, are you there?" And he came out, and I saw him at the call of the sound system. Ralph, come on and share with us in this next to the final thing. And then we're going to stand and sing under someone's direction the Runnymede song.
The Second Presbyterian Church in Waynesboro has a project to air condition the social hall. If Ronald Butler still has that 50 cents that Miss Quessy gave him, and he didn't want it in the beginning, I'd be glad to take it back to the Second Church Waynesboro and put it on that air conditioning project, seeing as how it came from Miss Quessy in the first place, and she was Presbyterian, and I think rightfully we ought to get it back where it belongs. When we were having the parade today, I was behind Ronald, and I'll say this to you. He was shaking his posterior about as much as any Pentecostal can do it and get away with it without being excommunicated. You know, I was several years ahead of Ronald, and I kept coming back home on occasion and hearing his name called, and I really thought he was a myth. I didn't think there was any such person as Ronald Butler. But there is such a person, and he has done a super job tonight, and I think we ought to give him a rousing bit of applause. Obnoxious. But I did tell him the story when I told him that he was getting away with the lot the way he was carrying on. I told him Bob Jones' commentary on dancing, and June and Joe, there's nothing offensive about this. This is just Bob Jones' commentary on dancing. Bob Jones said that any man who could go to a dance and put his arms around a good-looking woman and dance to some little ditty and say he was not affected by it all was one of three things. He was either more than a man, or less than a man, or a dirty, stinking lie. You know, I could get very much like Brother Butler, so I better watch myself. Stinky Brown. I have a little bit of trouble saying that first word, stinky. I don't know her that well, but I'm sure it was meant to be a compliment. She gave me permission to read some other sections. The thing that I was asked to read is printed in your booklet, so you have that for you. But she gave me permission to read just another paragraph or two, and this, of course, is in a serious vein. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That's common knowledge. But there's another uncommon bit of knowledge known only to a very select group of people. When God was finished with his work of building the world, he discovered that he still had a significant portion of creation substance left over. And it was the choicest measure of all the material that he had used. With a benediction to attend this journey, God aimed it at a pleasant spot on the face of the earth and flung it into space, a flaming fireball in the sky. It sped on past sun and moon and stars until it finally nestled as gently as a feather on an extraordinary place in what is now eastern North Carolina. In time, it became the uniquely wonderful and wildly audacious place that we have come to know as Runnymede. And since the beginning of time, there has never been another place like it in the whole world. Nor will there ever be another place like it in all the time to come. Now, others of you could be learning this for the first time, but the sons and daughters of Runnymede have always known it. We live daily with a sense of our community origin and uniqueness and blessing. Across the years, the offspring of this remarkable place have scattered to the four corners of the earth. It is our conviction that we are conspicuously better because of Runnymede. And we like to think that the world is better because of us. Yes, we have gone out from our fair place in the sun in rather large numbers, but Runnymede has never gone out from us, wherever we are. We remain conscious of the fact that the Runnymede experience has marked us indelibly for life. Our hearts and heads are filled with golden memories that continue to mold our character and shape our lives. A brooding presence calls us to accountability and reminds us daily of who we are and from whence we came. The name of the early inhabitants of Runnymede trip lightly across the golden tongue of memory and continue to weave magic in our lives. Clark, Kent, Taylor, Ellis, Carvin, Felton, Parisher, Fleming, Gaganas, Fussell, and Rogers, Keene, Melton, Collins, Pollard, Ure, Sherrod, Sutton, Little, Rawls, Worsley, Brewer, and Medford, Whitaker, James, Daughtridge, Johnson, Butler, Everett, Edmondson, Cross, Pylan, Moore, Alford, and Owens, Shaw, Fisher, Page, Bishop, Parker, Deal, Harold, Ward, Richardson, Rayner, Thompson, Roundtree, Futrell, and O'Neill, Merritt, Acre, Bowen, Watson, Armstrong, Gooch, Frazier, Hudson, and others. Poor all, and most illiterate by today's standards, yet each possessed dignity and had infinite worth. They were for the most part honest, hard-working, good, decent, God-fearing people. They were, in reality, representative of good people all over, in a nation still young, a people struggling for human dignity and the destiny befitting the children of God. They and their kind provided the spiritual backbone and moral fiber and strength of the nation, becoming, along with their offspring, the salt of the earth and the light of the world. And they passed on to us the genetic structure of heart and mind and spirit that has in large measure determined the course of our destiny. We're all indebted to them and will always be. If you listen carefully with the ear of faith or the ear of your heart, you will still be able to hear the sound of their voices and sense the presence of their spirit as it broods over us and continues to influence our lives. I'm grateful for that and hope that it will always be so. Once upon a time, a privileged few of us got to live out our own Camelot in a fairy tale kind of place called Runnymede. It was our schooling for life, the place of our dreams, and our crucible for becoming. And having lived there, we can never forget it or one another. Thank God for Runnymede.
Okay, now, I want you to turn back to that page again with the girls on the Coca-Cola cake. By the way, I want to just call your attention in passing that the person in the bottom right was one of the people that lost their lives in Second World War along with Curtis Clark. But I believe someone told me today that was Bill Fussell. Some of you might have wanted to know that. Now, turn over another page. Just turn over one more page, and you should have a lot of beautiful pictures there. And then turn over one more page. Okay, and now turn over one final more page. All right, now you should have on that page in the upper right-hand corner a little baby, and somebody told me that was me. And if it is, I claim it, because that's the cutest little baby I've ever seen. Now, I've been told all my life that I was born right there in that front room at 204 Pearl Street, that when they delivered the baby and my daddy came in and took one look at me and cried. But I'll tell you right now, that's a fairly handsome little fella. The reason I just wanted you to flip those pages, though, is I am going to use the prerogative of the chair, so to speak, and give the prize, which doesn't amount to anything but a word of praise, to the person that it appears to me has put in a lot of extra time along with a lot of other people. But it was the person who put this program together. And I'm telling you, this is a nice little keepsake. And Anita Brown, known as Dinky, she wrote the poem this morning. And she read it and she ended in, God, I knew you wouldn't rain on this parade. And she wrote the Runnymede song. And I'm going to ask Stinky to come up here along with Faye and some of the rest, because I am never going to attempt to lead that again, but I want us to all stand and sing a cappella the Runnymede song. Come on, Stinky. This is in your book on an unnumbered page. Okay, the Runnymede reunion song. The first word is days. Days have come and days have gone. We no matter we come home. We love Runnymede. Many generations past, friends and family always last. We love Runnymede. Through time and loss we drifted far apart, but Runnymede we kept within our heart. Though we will leave again today, ask anyone and hear them say, we love Runnymede. Let's sing it again. Days have come and days have gone. It don't matter, we come home. We love Runnymede. Many generations past, friends and family always last. We love Runnymede. Through time and loss we drifted far apart, but Runnymede we kept within our hearts. So we will leave again today. Anyone and hear them say, we love Runnymede. All right, this is the official end of the program. You may continue to hug and kiss and